ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú, káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn, tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀nràn, bá orí dání wọ́n. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀, orí ẹni ní pé kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ, bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe làlà òtọ́ láì bá dé. Tread softly, dákun ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣé rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rí inú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò jẹ́ àríkùn wá ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó, ọ̀yàn ń lọ wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá, wọ́n kì í lá tẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ a ò mọ̀nú, ẹni ayé yẹ kó rọra ṣe. Ṣọ́ra, ṣọ́ra. Pọ́sọ̀ fura, pọ́sọ̀ fi jọ́ sí iná. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ilẹ̀kùn bá jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, àgbà tó ti fi tó mọ̀ ńlá. Yòókù lọ́gbọ́n, ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ikú pàlà tí ọ̀rọ̀ lè lọ́lọ́gbà ògiri àgbẹ̀lẹ̀ tó wọ́n ti fi gbogbo ìbàjọ́ra ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀,
Yes, so good evening, my people. It's a pleasure to welcome you to another special edition of the Jagbajanti Show. How are you all doing? I hope it's been a fantastic week for you, and you're looking forward to the weekend. King will be àǹfààní àti máa gbọ́ mi o. Whatever time of the day you are, I greet you specially. Thank you for joining me again this evening. And as you are coming in, please Don't forget the ritual. Help me share this show on your platforms. Help me send out the link. Invite somebody. Um, you know, speak to somebody about this, and let's get as many people as possible to come to connect. And by doing that, you're contributing your own little quota, and you never know whose life you might be saving. Right, right. Let me quickly give a shout out to a few of my people on the show already. The people on YouTube, I greet you all. Those on Twitter and my regulars on Facebook, and especially the silent listeners. Okay, you púpọ̀ púpọ̀. And those who will be listening to the show afterwards, the recorded show. I greet you too. Good to have you people always. Right, àwọn olóòtú wà lórí ètò. A rí madam yìí ní last week, and wọ́n fìbínú wọlé this time around ni. And today she took the front row seat. I greet you especially my sister Esther Adiola. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Great to have you back, and for taking that first seat. That hot seat. Tí ẹ̀gbọ́n ti monopolize. Somehow you managed to beat him to it tonight. Dẹ̀ sì rí ẹ̀bùn náà. But she's another person that is always regular on that seat. Right, it's a pleasure to have you, and thank you very much for your comment on the theme song. Yes, the song is titled Esopele. Okay. Right. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún wo àwọn tó tún wà níbẹ̀. Shoops! Mo kí ẹ o. Ọ̀fà náà ló ń ṣe ń sìn àmọ́ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́ o. Ọ̀fà náà ló ń ṣe o. But it's a pleasure to have you on the show anytime you're here. Ṣé o wà pa family ńkọ́? Great. Ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ káalẹ́ o. Wọ́n ṣọ yín sáàbù lálẹ́ yìí. Ẹ tètè wọlé. No worry, mo mọ̀ pé ẹ tún máa gbà yẹn padà. Gbogbo àwọn yẹn the temporal báwo máa ṣe pè wọ́n náà? The temporal early comers, ẹ̀yin gangan lẹ máa ń ṣílẹ̀kùn tó. Ẹ káalẹ́ o, mo kí yín púpọ̀. My brother Gabriel Oluwatosin, it's a pleasure to have you back on the show after a long while. Àmọ́ nǹkan tó wá pọ̀ yín náà ọ̀fà náà ni, but I welcome you back. Àmàrà àwọn èèyàn tó má tètè délé nìkẹ́. Mr. Franklin Ọlọ́wọ́dán, good to have you on the show, my brother. You're early to the class tonight. God bless you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, ẹ̀gbọ́n mo mọ undisputed ni number one fan. Yeah, and I really appreciate that. Right, so let's get straight into the show. As you know, we don't waste time. Let's go straight into what we have for the discussion tonight. And as more people connect, I will, take time to give them a shout out. Um, Tonight we will be um, doing a second part of our last week discussion. Um, the power of questions, and hopefully this will be the concluding part. I realized there is something else I need to add to actually conclude that discussion, and this is really important. It's simple, but it's something that um, we should all understand and put into practice, because it's going to be very useful for us. So, but to recap what we did talked about last week, we emphasized on how questions um, play significant or important roles in our lives. We linked it with our belief and how our belief shape um, how we perceive reality, and it's our perception of reality that we live, and how we live is what we become. So everything goes back to what shapes that belief. And I mentioned that it's not what happens to us that is important, but how we interpret what happens to us and how we react to it. That is what happened. That is what is important, and that's what shaped our entire life. When you react badly to every little thing that happens to you, then you over exaggerate the situation, you magnify beyond what it should look like, and obviously that situation will eventually overwhelm you, right? So it's important that we understand that questions determined our life. So the quality of question we ask determines the quality of life that we will live. I use myself as an example. When I wasn't getting, the kind of result I thought my effort should be delivering. Mo ń kanra máyé kiri ni. And I thought life was very harsh on me, until I realized that the question you ask life is the answer it will give to you. So if life is not giving you the kind of answers you expect, what you need to do is to change your question. You need to ask something different. You need to improve the quality of the question you ask, and that will automatically improve the quality of the answer you will get, and that will also have effect on the quality of life you will have. So that was, the most important thing you can take away from what we discussed last week. And the difference between people who succeed and the people who think, things are not working well for them. It's largely on the type of question, the quality of question that they consistently ask. There are so many people around that when we see the kind of result they are getting, we often query their method, because we think, oh, it's not the conventional method, or it's somehow not morally aligned to our own beliefs, and then we just think, you know what, no, bilele and whatever thing like that. But that's from your own perspective. These people have must have sat themselves down to ask themselves certain questions, which led them to that end result that you see that they're having. And that's why I always say, don't sit down in your bubble and grumble and say ibi tó yẹ kí n wà kọ́ ni, àwọn ẹgbẹ́ mi ti kọjá kinní kan. And look, in all fairness, you are where you are supposed to. I am where I am meant to be. Because you don't arrive where you are by accident. I'm not where I am by accident. Where we are today is an aggregate of our choices, our decisions, our failures, our missed opportunities, our, um, questions we asked ourselves, the one we failed to ask. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ṣarajọ tá a fi débi tá a dé. So the question you should ask yourself is not, ó ṣe wá jẹ́ pé mo wá wà lójú kan, ó ṣe wá jẹ́ pé mo kàn ṣáà mo kàn àwọn èèyàn ti kọjá mi. No, those are disempowering questions. The question you should ask yourself, if you really think you want to advance your life, is how can I get to the next stage? Or if you think there's a particular, place or spot you hope to be, then you can use that as a reference to say, how can I get to that spot? That question opens to you possibilities. The previous questions, the answer you get from the previous question are answers like, yeah, because you are dumb, because you are lazy, because you are stupid, because you this, you that. And so those answers will keep limiting you because your brain will believe them. Because you're giving yourself reasons why you should remain on that spot. And it's your fault because you are asking disempowering questions. So the answers you'll be getting are answers that will keep you rooted on that spot for as long as possible. They're answers that will keep making you feel less and less and less of yourself. They're answers that will keep weakening you. They're answers that will keep, closing up opportunities ahead of you. They're answers that will keep, inhibiting you from reaching out to things that are even within your grasp. So until you change your questions to something like, how can I get to that level? Then within it will open answers to you, answers with resources, answers with options available for you, steps that you can take, things that you can practically get yourself involved in doing to attain that goal or objective. It will open your eyes to so many resources that you never even thought that you have. Quality questions will refocus your mind. It will shift your focus from, those things that keep you on the spot, and then put your focus on thing that empowers you and that challenges you to launch forward. Those are the main things we discussed in the part one of this discussion. And so tonight, I want us to round it off by looking at asking empowering questions. So, look, life is not about if you will have problems, right? Life is about what do you do when problem comes, because it's normal. You will have problems, you will have challenges. It's normal. For those who sees problems and challenges as inconveniences, as negative, they will always suffer. They will always suffer. But if you change your mindset to seeing problems as gifts, and what do I mean by that? Seeing problems and challenges as launching pads to a greater life, then you will crave for them. I know it's difficult to ask, but I think, was it Tai Sholari that once said something, that once prayed for his student, and he said, may your road be rough. And then he told them, I'm not cursing you, but you need challenges and problems to be able to advance in life. So when you see problems and challenges as roadblocks to your personal progress, then you'll be eager to find solutions to them, because you know that every problem or challenge that you solve leads you to another higher level. So even in the scripture, it is there. Nínú ayé ẹ̀yin ò rí ìpọ́njú. So eléyìí ò ń ṣe pé bóyá wọ́n ń pàrọwà fún èèyàn ọwọ́ ni. Wọ́n wá fọ̀rọ̀ tì lẹ́yìn. Ó ní ṣùgbọ́n ẹ tújú ká, torí mo ti ṣẹ́gun ayé. So challenges will come, problems will come, because they are part of the package, and you can't run away from them. You can't hide from them. What your mind should be set on is how you are going to deal with them when they come up. And this is what we want to talk about. When you have problems and challenges, how do you ask problem-solving questions? How do you ask empowering questions? Not questions that will disempower you, not questions that would further complicate the issues that you're dealing with, not questions that will further confuse you, Because in that moment already, where you have problems and challenges on your hands, your state of mind is not right. You're disturbed, and the questions you ask from then on can further um, create um, confusion for you, or you can ask questions that will empower you, energize you, and give you clarity as to what to do to get yourself out of that problem. And that is the focus on this second part of the discussion. We have powers at our disposal that we do not realize. And that's because our minds are closed. Um, we've been blinded to so many things. Our belief system over time has kind of um, put certain things outside our reach. So we've labeled so many things impossible. We've also put limits on ourselves in terms of things we can do and things we cannot do. It's all about the conditioning of our mind. And for us to, you know, get out of this, or for us to change that mindset, it's down to us asking questions that can, open up um, that boundary that, you know, or throw us into that realm where nothing is impossible. Because whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve. And that's a funny thing with us humans. Most of the things we enjoy today in terms of maybe technological advancement and things we make use of today that made life a bit maybe comfortable for us were not things that we ever thought are possible. But we have some people whose mind are so expansive that they don't take no for answer. They don't look at things that are and they're comfortable with it. They keep asking why not? Why not? And inside that why not, they begin to explore and begin to go on a path that some people never went before. Or they took things a step further from where the last person left it. So everything you see today that we enjoy or benefit from, it's directly from the answers that came directly from quality questions. They are problem solving questions that are answers that were answered. So take for example the Uber technology. It's one of the most fantastic technology or a piece of thinking that I can imagine. And that somebody sat down to ask questions. And that question birthed this multi-billion dollar company. And let's look outside the money. Let's look at the kind of convenience and the solution it brought to people in terms of transportation. It's a kind of revolution. Let's look at the jobs it has created for so many people. And that's just from asking questions. Why not? Or how can we improve this? Because if you look, for example, the kind of um, um, cab hire system that we have, for example, in UK prior to this, you have to either rely on the black cabs or you rely on the local cab. The black cabs are very expensive, they are snobbish, they decide who they want to pick, who they don't want to pick. And you have to get out of your house, go to the road, wait for them, hail them, you know. They look at you, size you up before they even decide whether they will pick you or not. And if they do, the costs are exorbitant. So you look at the local cab, you call them, the earliest you get them start from maybe 15, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20, 35 minutes before you can get a cab. So you are just there sitting and calling their office and calling their office and calling their office, and they're telling you they're trying to find the driver for you. Somebody within this whole thing ask questions. How can people sit down in their house and book this service and they don't have to leave the comfort of their home at any time of the day before a cab turns up within 5 minutes to their doorstep to give them a lift to wherever they're going? They don't need to carry cash. They just pay from their pre-registered card. Everybody is well behaved. Nobody is rude to the other. Nobody is robbed, because previously people would get on the local cab, they get to their destination and do a runner. They won't pay. And some, they target late in the evening when they know that the driver has walked a bit, and then they rob them of all the cash on them. So this kind of thinking came in, provided solution that solved all this problem at once. And guess what? This company don't own one single car. They don't own a car. And they are the largest transport company in the world. But they don't own no car. The quality of question is what delivers solutions or answers like this. So I want us to touch on maybe five problem solving questions you can ask when you find yourself in any kind of problem, or you're facing any kind of challenge. Mo ti ní àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n lórí ètò yìí o. Ẹ̀bùn mo kí ẹ wọ ọmọ ìyá mi, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ó pẹ́? Ẹ kú àtàárọ̀ o, ṣé ò rẹra? I greet you, my brother Ayotunde Adebayo. It's a pleasure to have you on the show again. Ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan la máa ń rí yín o, but I welcome you especially tonight. Yes, my sister, the mayoress of Scotland. I want to hear my sister Trendy Timmy. I greet you especially. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. And then let me officially inform you that I will be having you um, on this show, um, if you don't mind, as a guest um, shortly. I will reach out to you, and you will have to uh, indulge me and give me a date that is convenient for you, and then I'll host you on this show because I believe there's a lot um, that I can tap from you. There's a lot we can tap from you on this platform. So um, I've put you on the spot now publicly. For Ribe Sasio, Ekamariti, Ekamariti contact me. Láti wá gba that káwá mú déètì lókù. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Erelu mo kí yín o, ẹ káalẹ́ púpọ̀, ẹ kú àtàárọ̀, ẹ kú ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú o, ṣé ò rẹra o, ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́. Right, so let's get into those into that list of questions that we can make use of. Erelu ẹ tí means púpọ̀ because what we're treating is the second part of the discussion last week, and what I've been trying to do is to do a recap of discussion last week and how it is linked to what we want to talk about tonight. So tonight what we want to talk about is simply how to ask problem-solving questions, how to ask empowering questions when you face problems or challenges, how to ask questions that can act as launch pads for us to get out of that situation, not questions that will disempower us, make us more confused, make us weaker, but questions that will help us to tap into resources that are available to us to be able to do great stuff. And this list of questions can be applicable to whatever situation or challenges or problems we are facing. It will help us to stay focused. It will help us to tap into our inner strength. It will help us not to see challenges and problems as inconveniences, but as gifts presented to us to, take us to our next level. Because every problem we're able to solve, opens greater doors of opportunities for us. Everything we see today are direct result of quality questions that people asked. And they've all become either product that we use or services that we enjoy, or thing that has been created to make life more comfortable for us to platform I'm using tonight to to do this broadcast. It's as a result of questions that somebody sat down and asked, and the answer is what birthed this platform. So we are only limited in our minds. We're not limited by resources or capabilities. We're limited by what we tell ourselves. And what we believe is how we perceive reality. That reality is what we live, and what we live is how we become. So to change this or to improve the outcome of this process, start from asking empowering questions. So um, the first question you should ask when you face any problem is to ask yourself, what is great about this problem? It looks like a mad question to ask, because how can you find anything positive in a problem? How can you? But here's an illustration I will give to you. Two friends, two jobless friends, one day woke up and all dressed up to go to an interview. And as they stepped out, it started to rain, heavy rain. And two of them ran back into the house in the shelter. One started complaining bitterly. Ah, Irojore, King Kong, and he got the mobile, and he went into his room and was there just complaining and grumbling and all that. The other one came back outside, looked at what is happening in the environment. He saw a lot of people at the bus stop trying to find shelter under a very small, cubicle, trying to hide away from the rain. Only a handful of them um, had their umbrellas to cover themselves. This guy immediately saw an opportunity and he ran into the market, ran into the store where um, they sell umbrella in wholesale. He didn't even have money, but he bargained with the person and said, "Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ ní, ẹ jẹ́ n kó. Èló ni iye báyìí ni, okay, màá fún yín ní iye báyìí, but màá ta gbogbo ẹ̀." Ẹni yẹn ń wá sale ni, ẹni yẹn náà ti calculate iye tó lè rí tó bá ta tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. So he was willing to give a discount. So the guy took all the umbrellas in the rain, drenched. He started selling the umbrella. At that moment, he understood how desperate people are to stay in dry clothes. So he capitalized on their desperation to sell at a price that they would normally not buy the umbrella if they walk into a shop. At that moment, people were willing to buy because the rain was heavy. Kò síbi tán lè sá pamọ́ sí. Ó ta gbogbo umbrella yẹn. Ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ wò ó pé ọ̀gbẹ́ni ìdàkọ padà wọlé ni, àbí ṣé nójò yẹn ló lọ ní kankan bẹ́ẹ̀. He came outside and saw the guy hustling, tó ń tọ umbrella táwọn èèyàn ń rà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ó bá yẹn pé ọdíkì ọgbọ́n, ọ̀bọ yìí, ọ̀nà bá yẹn pé ó dà pé nǹkan tó ń já nìyẹn. Ọ̀nà bá sáré wọ ṣọ́ọ̀bù lọ láti lọ kó umbrella. Nǹkan umbrella tán báyìí lòjò dá. So he had unsold stock, he had debt to pay, and he missed opportunity. There are lessons to learn from this illustration. In every problem, there is a good in it. If you can sit down or take a moment to ask yourself, the way life presents um, goodies to us, it doesn't wrap it in gold wrapping paper, it doesn't make it presentable. It wraps it in used, oily, soggy newspaper that we would ordinarily not want to take. We just want to discard it. Pé kí ló lè wà nù kíní rárá mi ò fẹ́ touch it. Ṣùgbọ́n if we can take it, not minding how messy and dirty the wrapper is, and unwrap it, a máa rí treasure tó wà nínú ẹ̀. If everything is presented in that gold, wrapper and everything, quickly la máa tẹ́wọ́ gbà náà. We must learn to look for opportunity in every problem or challenge that comes our way. Because that's the intention, to lead us to a better life. So, the first friend saw the rain as inconvenient. After all, iṣẹ́ làwọn méjèèjì ń lọ wá. Kí ló dẹ̀ máa rí nídìí iṣẹ́ yẹn? Owó. Yorùbá ní ta bá ń wówó lọ, ta bá pàdé iyì lọ́nà, ó yẹ ká padà sílé ni. Torí ta bá rówó ọ̀hún tán, iyì la máa fi rà. Iṣẹ́ tó ń lọ wá, owó ni wọ́n máa fi pa. Owó tó máa pa lóṣù kan, bọ̀bọ́ yẹn pa lọ́jọ́ kan. Because he tapped into the opportunity presented to them, because it wasn't to him alone, to them, by that problem tí wọ́n face láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ yẹn. While one was concerned about his stress for the interview that the rain has ruined, the other one was more focused on how can I turn this pain to gain. Question. Looking at the situation, he asked himself, what do people need now? What is great about this situation? The other one is focused on, ó ṣe wá jẹ́rú àárọ̀ ẹ̀ báyìí lójó wá ń rọ̀. Question tí kan ń béèrè nìyẹn. Ṣíṣe ilé tún bọ́ ní báyìí. Èèyàn tún nílè lọ fún interview yẹn báyìí. Ó ṣe wá jẹ́ ọjọ́ tí ó bá ti kàn mí náà ní nǹkan báyìí máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀. That was the question one was asked. And the other looked at the situation and was asking, what is good in this? What opportunity can I key myself in here? How can I turn this to my own favor? And in asking that question, iye ẹ̀ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa ṣí. And that's what asking quality question does to you. That is what asking empowering question does to you. It opens possibilities before you. I've used my life as an example that there are so many things we look at and say, irọ́ wọn ṣe lè fáwa o, àwọn olówó lè wà fún o, nǹkan bá àwọn ilé ló lè ṣe nǹkan báyìí. And when you ask questions like that, when you think like that, naturally your brain will accept it as your reality, and those things will elude you. èpè kọ́ o ò lè ní wọn, o ò lè ṣe wọ́n, o ò lè débẹ̀. But my whole life and approach to things changed after I worked in the city for a while. That environment really challenged me. These are ordinary people doing extraordinary things. What I was selling to them, tí bá pe owó ẹ̀ fún wọn, wọ́n san. And then, relating closely to some of them, I was able to learn how they plan their funds and how they're able to pull funds from one place to use for this and use for that. And there I asked myself, wait a minute. Nothing is actually impossible, you know. It's all about the question you ask. So tí n bá ti sọ pé àwọn eléyìí lọ ṣe kinní báyìí fún, and that's it, done, door closed. But if I can ask myself, how can I afford this? Or how can I get this? Then mo ṣí làákàyè mi, mo ṣí ọpọlọ mi nìyẹn o, mo ṣí iyè mi nìyẹn o. Then I can begin to see possibilities. I can begin to, okay, tí n bá mú eléyìí, tí n bá tà yẹn, okay, tí n bá gba eléyìí, tí n bá, before you know it, you will see that you have resources for those things around you. Last, the worst ni wípé I'm not able to get that thing on the spot bó ṣe ń wò wájú ẹ̀ yẹn. But if you give yourself a target and say, in 3 months or in 6 months, I'm working towards this thing, wàá rí pé o máa achieve. It's all about empowering yourself by the questions that you ask, which will change your focus, which will build belief, strong belief into you, which will open your eyes to gbogbo àwọn. I said something last week, how quality questions goes into our recycle bin. You know, mo sọ pé human mind is like a computer. Just like you delete items on your computer and it goes into the recycle bin. Likewise, àwọn kankan náà wà yẹ pé delete the mind wa máa ń ṣe. But when you ask empowering questions, it will take your mind into your recycle bin. Gbogbo question tó ti delete, gbogbo nǹkan tó ti delete yẹn ló máa recover, restore everything and present them to you as options to consider. Yóò wá rí pé eléyìí wúlò, nígbà mo wá tẹ delete button tẹ́lẹ̀ fi lọ báyìí, mi ì dẹ̀ rò báyìí o. That's what quality answers do to you. It restores everything that you have deleted. Á lọ recover everything, á gbé padà wá. Ní pé yẹ ilé náà wò, yẹ yìí wò, má ignore ẹ̀. Ṣí eléyìí náà, ṣí folder yìí, nǹkan kan wà níbẹ̀ tó lè rí. So, the first question you ask is, what is great in this problem? That is when you will appreciate the opportunity that is presented to you. Ìgbà yẹn wà wá wá pé ọmọ tí bá dẹ̀ lo kíní tí mo lo kíní okay. There are so many things I do today tó jẹ́ wípé Problems tí mo encounter nírìn àjò mi ló jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ wọ́n ṣe. I didn't set out to go and learn how to do them. But because I've built my life such that every problem I face, I always think. Mo ti sọ fún yín several times, the way I act, tí nǹkan bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀, I tell myself, ṣẹ̀gẹ́ orí ni kò rò má ronú o, orí ni kò rò má ronú o, orí ni kò rò má ronú o. I repeat that to myself constantly. And in doing that, I'm refocusing my mind. Torí ọkàn mi ti fẹ́ dàrú. Ọkàn mi ti fẹ́ máa ṣe yánmayànmá. I need to quickly arrest it and focus. And within that, start asking questions. Quality questions that can lead me out of that mess or salvage the situation. And oftentimes, they lead me into a place where they add value to who I am. I come out of that situation better than I entered them. With more knowledge, with more wisdom, better equipped. And if I lose anything in the process, I don't focus on what I've lost. I focus on what I gained. And I treat the loss as a tuition that I have to pay for ignorance. Pátápátá màá kàn sọ fún mi pé ọmọ tuition fi eléyìí pọ̀ tuition fi eléyìí pọ̀, but no problem, the knowledge you got it. But some people will lose the tuition fee, they lose the knowledge that they should gain from it. They lose everything by asking questions that further make them sad and weak and tired and fed up and depressed. Just like my brother said here, life is a mind game. And tó fẹ́ gbá ẹ, mind yẹn ló wá fẹ́ play nínú. Àwọn tó fẹ́ mú ẹ lẹ́rú, mind yẹn ló fẹ́ capture. Kò sí physical slavery mọ́ lénìí, it has been abolished. Àwọn tó ṣì ń ṣe, you see that the arms of the law is catching up on them. Whether child trafficking, whether human trafficking, all these things, they're catching them up. Ṣùgbọ́n what exists today is mind slavery. People capture your mind. Government capture your mind. Establishment capture your mind. Corporations capture your mind. Religion captures your mind. Because whoever controls your mind owns you. Because from your mind, they shape your belief. Once they can make you believe certain things, it shapes how you perceive life. And how you perceive life is how you live. How you live is how you become. And that's why your heart is important. It is the most fertile soil you can find anywhere. But whatever you plant on it grows. So that is the first question you asked. That answer will make you not to see the problem as inconvenience, as something there to destabilize you or whatever. It will refocus your mind to see it as something that you can actually capitalize on. It's an advantage for you to move forward. When things happen in our life, tá a mọ̀ why tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n tó o bá farabalẹ̀, tó o struggle, tó o wo níwò pé kìíní ètò ti dé, ó ṣe wá jẹ́ mi gbogbo ìgbà, tó o wo pé kí ló wà nínú kíní fún mi? Why is this happening at this time? What can I gain from this? How can I turn this around? Ìgbà ẹ̀ wà á rí pé kíní this guy ṣe wá ní ṣá, and then you'll be able to use it to your advantage. The second question you need to ask is, what is not perfect now? I want you to be very careful how these questions are worded. Because when we face problems, when we face challenges, there is a sign that we haven't really, found a perfect solution to how we want things to run. That's what it means. Really genuine family. Maybe you have too much to do, and things are just slipping out of your control. So when you ask, what is not perfect yet? You are killing two birds with one stone. You are admitting that yes, nǹkan kan ṣì yẹ, and at the same time you are empowering yourself. You are declaring to yourself that things will be perfect. You're telling yourself things will be perfect, because you are saying what is not perfect yet. And in this situation, you now sit down realistically and ask yourself, kí ni nǹkan tó ń fún mi stress yìí? At the end of the day, ó kàn lè rí kó jẹ́ wípé maybe you just need to fine-tune your schedule. Maybe you just need to understand better the principle of urgency versus important. Like I've treated it on this platform before. Urgent versus important. What we should be engaging ourselves in every day of our life is what is important, not urgent. We should avoid anything urgent, because it's only things that are important that add value to us. Anything urgent are distraction. They distract us. They don't add any value to us. What is important are the things that takes us closer to our goals and objectives. Distractions are urgent issues. So when we don't do things at the time when we should do them, then they become urgent. And urgent, when we are dealing with urgent issues, we leave important things not attended to. And before you know it, that important issue that we didn't do, also we reach a deadline where they become urgent. And before you know it, your life is in chaos. Another thing that becomes urgent in our life are when we absorb other people's problems. So ẹlòmíì ti lo ayé yamayama, ó ti mess up, òun ò tiẹ̀ take thought of bóyá ń ṣe nǹkan, gbogbo nǹkan ti wá dàrú mọ́ lọ, ó wá rọ̀ wá sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. Àwa sọ fún ẹ pé àìjọ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe bá máa yanjú ẹ̀ nísìn ní ẹjọ́, ojú ò ní tì mí o, ojú ò gbọdọ̀ tì yín o, tójú bá ti tì mí, ojú ti tì yín náà ní ẹjọ́, ẹ ṣàánú mi, kò tí mo lè lọ. By the time you leave your own important issue to attend to that, you are going to build urgent issues in your own life. So you must understand the principle of urgent versus important. Never engage yourself in urgent issues. Deal with only important issues. And for you not to create urgent issues in your life, you must work according to deadlines. Do things according to when they should be done. Many don't know that taking rest is also important. It's an important thing in your life because it allows you to, distress, recover, re-energize, and come back sharper, mentally and, sharper physically. But time tó fẹ́ sinmi yẹn lèèyàn kan gbé problem wá. Ó pa ìsinmi ẹ̀ tì. Ó lọ bá wọn yanjú urgent wọn. And you are now wondering why you are tired, why you are always drained. Because you left something important in your life. And some people even trivializing, after all, can lie down. None. Don't let people tell you things like that. Because lying down is important. You need to recover. You've used up yourself. Kí làwọn fi time wọn ṣe is the question you should ask. Tó fi di wípé nǹkan fi yẹ̀ mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́. Tó fi di wípé you have to fix it up. And how do you handle situations like that? You must learn how to use the word no. No is not a negative word. It's actually a positive word. And you must learn to use an emphatic no. Because no tí ò strong yìí wà. Okay, màmá wo nǹkan tí màá ṣe o rò pé o ti fi push away. No. Until you use an emphatic no, you are still bound by the responsibility. You are still bound by that responsibility. So you have to give people emphatic answer. Tó bá dẹ̀ sọ pé okay, màá wo nǹkan tí màá ṣe, I'll get back to you. Mọ̀ wípé wà lọ́rùn ẹ̀. And you have to get back to that person. You can't just leave them hanging. Kò ní motivation is coming. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ is coming. You are bound by that responsibility until tó bá yọra ẹ̀ kúrò nù. Another thing you can do is to say no to the request but yes to the person. That is, jẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé eléyìí, sorry, kò sínú agenda mi ò lè handle ẹ̀ báyìí. Ṣùgbọ́n next time, ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ ahead of time. So ẹni ẹ mọ̀ nísìnyí pé kí n po push on dànù outrightly. You're willing to help, but in this situation, no, you can't get involved. It's outside your control to mess things up for you. So what you can do is, next time, please, ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ pa kíní earlier so I can factor it into my own schedule. That is you saying no to the request, but yes to the person. So you must understand things like this because that would help you in putting things back in shape for yourself to have, a better and smoother life. But instead of máa dán ọwọ́ mọ́ table, máa dán ọwọ́ mọ́lẹ̀, all the time, ọmọ yẹn tún máa tún ti parí school báyìí, mo tún máa tún lọ sí kinní, mi ò máa tún ti ṣe. Gbogbo yẹn wà máa weak. Á dà pé ayé nira fún ẹ. Á dà pé gbogbo nǹkan dojú, á dà pé ìṣòro tó ń gbé pọ̀. You can ask yourself, what is not perfect yet? That question will make you reconsider things from top to bottom. Nínú ẹ̀ wá ti rí pé okay, I just need to tweak my schedule. Maybe I spend less time, watching uh, this or doing that. Maybe I need to wake up earlier. Maybe I need to change uh, my work to a closer place. Maybe I need to change the school of the children to somewhere local. I mean, you will see what you need to fine tune. Sorry, fine tune to make things a bit smoother for you. And then the third question is to ask yourself, what am I willing to do to make things the way I want it? What am I willing to do to make things the way I want it? This is you now thinking of solutions. What is not perfect yet has opened you to BT problems. See what? Now, kí làwọn nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe? Underline the word willing. What are the things I'm willing to do now to make things the way I want them to be? Ẹ wá ti rí pé okay, bóyá mo ní láti gba assistant. Jẹ́ pé yẹn á kàn máa bá mi kọ mail mi nìkan. I'm at the stage in my business, or I've been at the stage in my business. It's been 2-3 years now that I've been at that point where I've gone through this question, this list of questions I'm giving to you. And it has helped me to a point to rejig the business, to streamline it, to cut off what is not necessary. And I'm at a point now where I have clarity of what I need to do. This set of questions allowed me to actually see myself. Yogbeni, you are a creative. And so far, so good. You allow the creative part of you to take the lead, not the business side. My wife often joke with me and say, "Ọkọ mi tí ò mowó sìn." It's not a lie. Why can you be a businessman and you don't know how to chase your money that is outside? You don't know how to demand from what is yours. So, my problem is not in creating product. My problem is not in creating products that can sell. My problem is actually in going all out to actually sell them. And to take it beyond where I want it to be, I need to think outside my own resources alone. And that took me to a point where I was, clear that I needed two things. I needed people who are rich and people who have the reach. Prior to now, different people approach, I want to do this with you, want to do that. Gbogbo wọn ni mò ń gbà, mò ń gbà, mò ń gbà, mò ń gbà, mò ń gbà. But at the end of the day, kò sí tó máa lead síbi kankan. Because oftentimes, àwọn tó wá, they're just talker. Àwọn tó wá, that people limited by my own limitations as well and stuff. So I need somebody who is strong where I'm weak to complement me. Kì í ṣe èèyàn kan náà tá a jọ need the same strength and the same weakness. So I know what I need to do for me to get to where I want to get to. And that's because I asked myself these questions. Instead of focusing on irrelevancies and thinking, bóyá àwọn kan ló ń ṣe mí, bóyá kìíní kan, no, kò sí gbogbo yẹn. You need to know what is happening and what needs to be done. And that also gave me clarity and presence of mind láti lè screen whoever tó bá approach me. Ṣọ́ ní tí mò ń fẹ́. Tọ́n bá ti ní kò sáàyè ẹjọ́, kò sí point bá àrùn ìjọ, kò sí point. Waste of time. But this is what is needed. So when I see somebody who has those two things, then I know we can move on. So likewise, we must ask ourselves in times of challenges and problems, kí ni àwọn nǹkan tó yẹ kí n ṣe for me to for things to be where I want them to be. Once you can identify the issues, kò sí nǹkan tó lórúkọ tí ò ní solution. It's all about your willingness. Are you willing to do this? Or you are confronted with solutions, but you are still giving excuses why you should not, why you should not do it, or why they won't work. Or it's now a function of will. It's now a function of will. You might just need to maybe get somebody on board so that you can have free time to yourself to focus on what matters. Some people can take certain responsibility off you. So for example, I have like maybe 2-3 businesses I'm managing. It's too much. It might create design, it might say marketing, it might say social media, it might say it's draining. You know, my work fund. At the end of the day, to actually focus your strength on what matters, you can't have some of these responsibilities taken off you by other people who will handle them, which will free up time for you to be able to handle what is necessary, so that things stop slipping away out of control. And then the fourth question you ask is, what am I willing to no longer do in order to make things the way I want them to be? There are things you need to give up. Life is about sacrifices. The guy that went into the rain to sell umbrella was not thinking about Bayasho and Watutu, Babata and Watutu. He wasn't thinking of his comfort. You don't think of comfort. Wà nù yàrá mẹ́. What are you willing to give up? What are those things that you have to stop? Tó jẹ́ pé òun ló ń fuel maybe that disappointment tó ń ní or failure tó ń ní. Ẹlòmíì is procrastination. I will. Màá ṣe. Orí màá ṣe ló máa wà lọ́dún kan. Kò ní ṣe nǹkan kan. The way I operate is this. Tí nǹkan bá ti sọ sí mi lọ́kàn, mo mọ̀ pé kíní yẹn ó fẹ́ kí n act in it. And I don't take chances. Because I don't know why, if I delay, what might happen. So I try as much as possible to follow the lead of my instinct. Kíá màá dẹ̀ dìde, màá gbéra, màá ṣe kíní yẹn. Why? Mi ò fẹ́ regret. Mi ò fẹ́ kó má wàá ṣe mọ́ kó wá máa ní oh my God, ká mo ti down lánàá ni. Mi ò fẹ́ ayé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. So I don't delay. I do things promptly. I act accordingly. So if yours is procrastination, you have to identify it and be willing to stop it. Because bó wá dúró opportunity tó ti miss láyé nítorí ò gbéra. Torí ò ń dá tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Ọlá ò kí ń dé. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Mo kàn dẹ̀ rò pé màá dẹ̀ ṣe ní kíní ni o. Mo kàn àwọn èèyàn tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n níbí lọ. Wọ́n lè ṣe nǹkan kan. Wọ́n lè ṣe nǹkan kan. When you identify this, ó yẹ kó máa ṣe nǹkan promptly ni. Má máa fi nǹkan falẹ̀, má máa fi nǹkan delay. So it varies from individuals. You have to find it out by asking the right question. To push this, kí ni mi ò ní láti ṣe mọ́? Ìtò ń láti ṣe wà. Ìtò ò gbọdọ̀ ṣe mọ́ wà. Because you can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Insanity ni wọ́n ń pè yẹn. To want a different result to what you've been getting, ask different questions and act differently. Or kó máa ṣe the same thing, ṣe the same thing, kó wá ní à ń fàdúrà tí ó ti sick o. Ó ti sick. Because nothing just happened. Wá ṣe nǹkan kan kí nǹkan kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni. Tó bá dẹ̀ ń ṣe nǹkan kan tó ń fún ẹ ní nǹkan tí ò tẹ́ lọ́rùn yẹn, then ó láti pa kíní yẹn dà. Kó wá nǹkan míì ṣe. And then the last question. Ibi tó ta kókó gan rèé. Ibi tó ta kókó rèé. How can I enjoy the process while I am doing what is necessary for me to make things be the way I want them? Ibi yìí ló nira. Because many of us only focus on the result. We hate the process. On this platform, we've talked about wanting and waiting. There is a period behind and between these two. It's called the process. You can't skip it. Oh, they're tough. I won't lie to you. Oh, boring. I won't lie to you. But you have to find a way to enjoy it. Because nobody becomes a champion just like that. Wọ́n ti fẹ́ kú sínú gym. Wọ́n ti fẹ́ kú sí training ground. Wọ́n ti fail, wọ́n ti lie, wọ́n ti fail, wọ́n ti lie, wọ́n ti were defeated, wọ́n ti win, títí kán tó lè achieve result yẹn. You think heavyweight boxers are made in the ring? You think they are crowned champions in the ring? No. They are made champions in the gym. And that's why you see them kán tó jàjà ẹyọ kan báyà wọ́n ti máa ń báyà 8 months ti máa ń wà in between tó ti máa wà ní camp. Wọ́n á torture body wọn pa because àwọn ẹ̀ṣẹ́ tó ń bọ́ sí wọn lára nínú ríǹgì yẹn àwọn ẹ̀ṣẹ́ kílókìló ni bí wọ́n ju àpò ráìsì lùyàn ni. The process is tough. That's why many of them cry when they lose the fight. It's not the belt they are crying about. It's not the money because ẹ bá rówó tí ẹ tó lose gan gbà wọ́n gan wà nípa ẹ nà mí ẹ fún mi lówó. What they cry about is how that process didn't lead them to the outcome that they expected. But after the whole situation, wọ́n náà tó máa ń bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ náà. Every sport does, because you have to be in the right frame of mind to be a sport person. Wọ́n ní session fáwọn therapist máa ń bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ all the time. Àwọn yẹn á pè wọ́n ṣàkíyèsí padà. It's part of the process. You have to go through this. Wọ́n láti lulẹ̀, wọ́n láti dìde, wọ́n láti lulẹ̀, wọ́n láti dìde. Processing ni. Tí wàá fi understand the craft yẹn dáadáa. Àwọn yẹn á sọ pé boxer wọ́n ní kinní kankan sákiri inú ríǹgì ní ọ̀lẹ ní kò jà. Then you don't understand boxing. Boxing is simply a game of you hit the opponent and don't allow the opponent to hit you. Simple. That's boxing. The judges are there taking point. Gbà ojúbà wọ́n kọ́ lẹ̀ 1. Ojú fún ẹ, òwíìvù ẹ, òun sá sẹ́yìn, òun gbé rìn káàkiri nínú ring, òun bounce káàkiri. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé bóyá ń bounce kiri yẹn o ní stamina láti lè máa ṣerú bounce yẹn? Ẹni tó ń gbé bounce káàkiri tó ń tẹ̀lé ẹ náà ó rẹ̀ ẹ́. Ó dẹ̀ ṣe ń tẹ̀lé ẹ yẹn ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan wọ́n máa fún jab wọ́n kà á máa fún jab wọ́n kà á. Ó fẹ́ jù fún ẹ ìwọ ń yẹ̀, ó fẹ́ jù fún ẹ ìwọ ń yẹ̀. At the end of 10 rounds, judges are calculate wọ́n ní by unanimous decision 110 to 100. That's boxing. Hit and don't get hit. Simple. Reason why they refer to Ali as float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Because a máa yọ kiri nínú ríǹgì ni, wàá máa wá kiri, wàá máa tẹ̀lé kiri ní ìwọ ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan tó bá fún ẹ báyìí ojú ti bẹ́, tó bá fún ẹ báyìí ẹnu ti ya. Gbogbo èèyàn kan ló máa dàbí Mike Tyson tó jẹ́ pé gbàràgbàrà wọn ò tiẹ̀ tí ì sanwó tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì tán lẹ́nu ọ̀nà kan wọlé ìjà ti parí. Bí animal lòun ṣe máa lọ. But there's a process you have to go through to become that. That process is tough. Kò dùn. I remember when I started learning piano under late Pa Olaolumideyi. Ayé sú mi. Because this man will write music for me on the manuscript, place it in front of me on a wooden desk. He won't allow me play on the piano. And he will stand behind my back. Mo ń play lórí pákó, lórí bench. And he will be looking at my fingering. Ayé sú mi. But ìsìn ló ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yé mi. Then, no. I didn't want to continue again. It was pure torture. I just saw the man as evil and wicked and, but it's a process. Kò sí ní téèyàn fẹ́ dà tó lè dá lójijì. You have to go through the process. So you must ask yourself, because ibi táwọn èèyàn ti ń give up rèé. Process làwọn èèyàn ti ń give up. Ibẹ̀ lọ ti ń wá shortcut, ibẹ̀ lọ ti ń ṣubú, ibẹ̀ lọ ti ń dànù, ibẹ̀ ní nǹkan ti ń dàrú. Because it's long, it's torturous, it's boring. But you have to enjoy it. The same thing for someone like me that creates stuff. From an idea in my head, I bring it out, sketch it out, see it finished, then I have to reach out to factories who can make it. Ẹ mọ iye tá a máa ṣe tí ò ní dáa ni, tí ì ṣerú nǹkan tí mo fẹ́. Ẹ mọ iye owó tó máa sọnù ni, ẹ mọ ìgbà tó máa disappoint ni, ẹ mọ ìgbà tó máa ní lágbájá kan síkì tọ̀hún kan ò ṣe kinní kan, gbogbo nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ni. You want to give up, you want to run mad. At the end of the day, tó bá pàpà ṣe, tó bá get ẹ̀, tó bá jáde tán, ọ̀yà máa pàtẹ́wọ́ fún ẹ pé genius ni. Wọ́n mọ nǹkan tó là kọjá. Nǹkan tó là kọjá yẹn ló yẹ kí wọ́n enjoy as a creative. Because ìyẹn ló máa kọ́ ẹ how to go about the next project. But when you don't enjoy that process, when you skip it, when you don't want to be involved, then go nǹkan tó ṣe ò worth it. So you must ask yourself, how do I enjoy the process? For me to get to make things how I want it to. So you must create things within it to make it fun for yourself. Bóyá nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe, bóyá nǹkan tó yẹ kó wà boring pa ni. Why don't you book an holiday for yourself and do it while on holiday? Take yourself somewhere nice. Kó jókòó sínú oòrùn. Kó máa mu omi inú àgbọn direct. Káwọn kan náà máa fi omi inú àgbọn yẹn kó máa fi wọ́ ẹ́ gbogbo ara. Kó lè máa ṣe kinní yẹn. O ò ní rí bí iṣẹ́. You will get the thing done and you still enjoy the process. You have to create, you have to make it fun for yourself. You have to find a way to make that time pass. You have to understand how to compress time. You have to understand how to bear pain of the process. Tell yourself, yes, you have to go through this to get this. Bẹ́ẹ̀ fi síìdì sílẹ̀, á kọ́kọ́ kú náà kó tó di pé ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí tún hù. Tó bá dẹ̀ máa hù jáde láti ilẹ̀, á tiraka lá ilẹ̀ ní. Ilẹ̀ á tiraka open ilẹ̀ ní láti lè yọrí síta. That's nature. That's nature. Yorùbá ní títa ríro là á kọlà. Tó bá jiná tán, ó máa ń dẹwà sára ẹni tá a kọ sínú. Before gold comes out, that's jewelry, beautiful piece of jewelry. It has to go through fire. And that's why kò sẹ́ni tó lè mọye grams jewelry tó máa jáde. Wípé a fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan báyìí, wọ́n á sọ fún yín pé ẹ má wọrí iye báyìí. Ó dìgbà tó bá laná kọjá. Ìgbà tó bá laná kọjá tán lẹ tó máa rí pókè o, iye tí kinní bá dé rèé. It's not predetermined. It's not predetermined. So you can't skip process. Get that into your head. You have to ask yourself, how can I enjoy the process? Tí mò ń wá fi tẹ̀ mí lọ́wọ́. If you have to distract yourself by doing other things while you are waiting, then do it. If you have to engage yourself in other things to get you busy, so that you not be idle and every day ṣá máa mékanlẹ̀ all the time pé òtítù ready náà ni, ọjọ́ wa ni báyìí. Gbogbo yẹn ò ní hàn tó ń ṣe yẹn ò ní mú kíní ẹ̀ kó speed up. Ìgbà tá a ṣẹlẹ̀ náà là á ṣẹlẹ̀. You must learn to enjoy this process. You must find a way to make time pass until nǹkan tó ń fẹ́ la fi tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. So, these are the 5 questions you can apply to any problem or challenges that comes your way. You must ask, what is in it for me? Ask, what is not perfect yet? What can I do? What am I willing to do? What am I willing not to do anymore? And how can I enjoy the process? These are problem-solving questions. These are problem-empowering questions. Because the quality of your question will determine the quality of your answer. And answer technically is the quality of life you will enjoy. So nínú gbogbo nǹkan tó bá pàdé láyé, má máa béèrè why me. Ó ṣe wá jẹ́ mi. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan náà? Again, why not other people? How come? Gbogbo yẹn will get you confused. Gbogbo yẹn will take control out of your hand. Gbogbo yẹn will disempower you. Máa ránra ẹ létí, orí ni kó rò, má ronú o. Always think forward. How do you get out of this? What resources are available to me? What is in this? How do I turn this around? How do I salvage this situation? As you are coming up with questions like that, your mind is getting expanded. Ìyá máa sọ fún ẹ, okay, pé ẹni báyìí. Then you need solution. As of okay, I'll get back to you. My bed pen. Or kàn jókòó sójú kan kó má ṣe. bó ṣe ń ṣe hẹ̀ yẹn lẹ̀jẹ̀ ń dínkù lára ẹ̀, ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń ṣọ́ọ̀tì lára ẹ̀ ni. Ó ń lo ẹ̀jẹ̀ gan-an. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń bọ́lẹ̀ lára ẹ̀ pint by pint ni. Pint ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan ló lò yẹn. Ó ga o, pint ẹ̀jẹ̀ míì ló lò yẹn. Before you know it, wàá ti gbẹ. Ìyẹn ò dẹ̀ change nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó yẹ kó elevate mind yẹn. Okay, what next? Pé àwọn tó wà láyìíká ẹ̀ tó lè tètè ginger ẹ̀. Kì í ṣe àwọn tó tún máa dá ẹ̀rù sí ẹ lọ́kàn pé wàhálà rèé o. Tó bá ti pe èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, o ti wọ problem. O ti wọ o ti wọ. Àwọn èèyàn kan wà jẹ́ pé má pè wọ́n tó bá ti ní issue. Bí o mọ̀ pé àdánilọ́kànrú ni wọ́n. Pé àwọn èèyàn tọ́kàn wọn le jẹ́ pé gbogbo tó máa ń rò láyé solution. Irú èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn fi lọ. Even bọ́rọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kàyéfì gan, kò ní express ara ẹ̀, kò ní dápayà sí ẹ lọ́kàn. Níta kọ́ sọ fún ẹ ní pé má worry, ó ní solution. Bóun gan ò tí ì mọ solution. Á kọ́kọ́ empower ẹ, á kọ́kọ́ encourage ẹ wá jọ máa foríkorí. Before you drop the call with that person, wàá rí wípé ọmọ wà ní a bit of conflict wípé yes, ọ̀nà àbáyọ máa wà. So this, I think, brings the whole discussion on the power of questions to a close. So I just thought I should add this to complete what we discussed last week. Ayé wà complicated by default, but we should manage if we know the right things to do and we are willing to do them. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. We won't take much of your time further, and I can release you from here to enjoy the rest of your night and have a fulfilled and restful weekend. Until we meet again next week, Friday, keep asking quality questions, because he who cannot ask cannot live. Udaro.
Ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú, káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn, tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ́rọ̀ pa orí dání wọ́n. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀, orí ẹni ní pé kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ, bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe lọ́la òtọ́ láì bá dé. Tread softly, dákun ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣé rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rí inú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò jẹ́ àríkùn wá ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lọ́wọ́, ọ̀yàn òun ló wà lọ́jọ́ ogúndé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá, wọ́n kì í lá tẹ̀jẹ̀. Ara lámùhá ò mọ́nú, ẹni ayé yẹ kó rọra ṣe. Ṣọ́ra, ṣọ́ra. Pọ́sọ̀ fura, pọ́sọ̀ fi jọ́ sí iná. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tirẹ̀ látẹ̀lé ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ látẹ̀lé ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi ṣòwò tí a wà tẹ́lẹ̀ ayé, àgbà tó ti ti tó mọ̀la lòkù lọ́gbọ́n. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́.